We're live. Woo!
Hey folks, how we doing? All right.
Good.
Good. Let's just get this out of the way right now, okay? I had a light fixture come crashing down on top of my head and cut me in 7 places. I was moving a rug. That's all. It's just more bad luck. But other than that.
It was a rug accident.
It was a rug accident. These things happen, definitely. That's what's going on. All right.
Let me guess. Berber.
What were you going to guess?
Berber.
Rug burn. That's a good guess.
No, not rug burn. Berber.
Light fixture crashing down on top. So, hey everybody. Happy Friday. It's really bizarre to say that into a camera and get no response whatsoever. Yeah. Adam, maybe if you could pretend like you're an audience of people who give a rip that we wish them a happy Friday, that'd be sweet. Thanks. Well, in order to save us more awkward talking into a camera that doesn't talk back, we are here to be asked anything and hopefully answer anything. So long as you keep the questions relative to camera accessories, we should be able to answer anything. Not that broad, but we'll see what we can do. So Adam, why don't you get us started with some questions? Oh, I think that's Art. You guys know Art by now. He's our lead designer. You guys know Adam by now. He talks a lot. I'm Pete, or Peter, both work. That's Sasha. She said she was going to make me a coffee, which is awesome.
Sweet. All right, let's see. We've got 134 people watching right now, I think, which is awesome. And just to let you know, I'm going to be reading questions that were submitted to the Q&A area. So if you're watching this, there's a little Q&A button. If you have a question, type it in there. Look through other people's questions. If you like those, give it a little plus, and then it'll bubble up to the top. So we're just going to go top down. First question from Adam Hicks, who you may be familiar with. Would it be possible to demonstrate the strength and security of the mag latch on the Everyday Messenger by turning the bag upside down with gear inside?
Okay. Here's the messenger bag. Here's a mag latch. In fact, this is kind of a new one. Here's my camera. I think we've got a D600 with the 24-70. That is not cheap. It's a pretty penny. So we're gonna put that one in there. There we go. Mag latch. There we go. Sorry. I mean, the thing is that upside down is kind of like even more beneficial, because remember, the way the mag latch works, all right, is the more tension you put on it or pull on it, you know, it's like metal running into metal, so that's not going to happen. I think people, what they're confused by are that it seems like, because we do it in the videos, because we practice it, because we want it to look great, and once you have practiced it, it's really easy to get this open. You pull this way, and then you pull down. It's something that takes a little bit of getting used to, but if a thief, I guess the main concern being security, just like grabs on this thing, well, if you grab it really hard, you might be able to get it done. But the thing is, you're gonna have to grab it so hard. See, I can grab on this and it doesn't move until I pull it out. Well, you're gonna have to yank on that thing really, really heavily in order to make that happen. And so I think that anytime your bag gets yanked on, I think it's a pretty good indicator that you've got trouble and should probably address that. So that's why we really think that we're very well covered in terms of security for that bag.
But in terms of coming undone accidentally in any way, shape, or form, it's solid.
Yep. Thanks, Adam. What else we got?
All right. Let's see. Will the lens kit be able to handle the weight of a 24-70 f2.8 and a 7200 f2.8 at the same time.
Totally. I mean, this thing is, well, I say built like a tank, but that kind of takes away from us as designers. You never want to build something like a tank when it's not a tank. That being said, it is extraordinarily robust, and the reason why, and we've got, actually there's some excellent slow motion brake footage that we've done to see, you know, where it actually, I'm gonna tilt this up. Bart and I are different heights, but we'll deal with that. We've got a stainless steel pin which goes up to the middle of that, and then a this polycarbonate ABS, both super strong plastics that completely envelops it, and like it takes, I think, 50 kilograms of like a torquing mechanism in order to make that thing snap. And the way that it actually fails is it unseats from the from this thing right here. So, I mean, you can yank on this thing in any direction you want, as hard as you can. You will not be able to break this thing, even trying to break it. So,
hey, why don't we? Because I think a lot of people are here to see the lens kit firsthand, how it works, how it goes together.
Yep.
Why don't you guys do like a quick 2-minute demonstration of what it is and what it does?
I'm going to have Art narrate and perform this, and I'm going to adjust the camera so that we're looking right down in his midsection there. So he's got it in belt mode.
Yeah, and this is the setup that the guest was asking about. This is a 24-70 2.8, 24-70 2.8, 70-200 2.8 Nikon. So pretty serious lenses here. And basically the way it happens, we'll get set up like I'm doing a lens change. So I have my camera, I'm shooting, and let's put this guy on a strap. Straps. This is Slide Light, our new strap that we're coming out with. And basically, so this stays in place, and I'm very mobile with this. It's attached rigidly to my belt, but this is a heavy lens, but you barely feel it because it's on your hips. So then I release my lens. There's a really big, bright indicator that we have in anodized aluminum on top. So then
Need more light, Art. Come this way, bud.
Sure. So then I've locked the lens in place here, and then all I have to do is pull out, and it releases a little locking mechanism. Here, sorry, I'm wearing black pants. It's pretty dark. Should we go on the light?
There we go.
There we go. Okay. There's some light. So this is the lens clip, lens. All I have to do is just pull out. You can see that. And then it releases the locking mechanism, and this is free to spin. So now I have very accessible this big boy here, which I will now pull off and load on, like so. So, and then because it's double-sided, basically they just swap around, and now the 24-70 is in its kind of stowed carry position.
This
like
thing,
that.
Art didn't mention, but it indexes at 90-degree increments. So
Right.
if I pull off on this, and then it'll sit tight sideways.
Sideways in any of the 4 directions. And that's good because in some situations, especially if you have 2 captures, it's actually easier to see and get into the lens from the side. So depending on what situation you're in, where you're wearing it, you might find it easier to locate the pin on the side, like so. So we try to keep it as versatile as possible and not tell you kind of the one single setup of how to use it, but that 4-way indexing really allows it to kind of work, whether it's on a clip like I have here, or on a strap. And maybe let's show the strap setup real quick.
Sure. White shirt. This might be easier.
Yeah. So I'll pull it off my belt here. And on the lens clip, we have on the back here, there's these little wings that come off, and you can put our anchors on there. And what that means is that you can clip any of our straps on there and carry this, carry your lens and the CaptureLENS kit on a strap. So I've got that here. So now I have camera and lens, and then to switch lenses, I would just release this guy, click it into place, swivel it around, undo it, and of course, throw it on the camera. Like so. And now you're swapped. Without having to use a counter or balance anything in your arms or pocket or anything. So it makes life a little bit easier, and it's a great way to go really fast and light and just carry the minimum amount of equipment without having to deal with bags or pouches and stuff like that. If what your goal is to just purely have gear with you.
Right. Or, you know, with bag, with the Everyday Messenger, if you want to carry, just the larger your load gets, if you want to carry extra things, carry it on the outside of your bag. You know, it actually is a really convenient way. Trey Rackler talks about how that's one of his common workflows now. So we're really excited to see how photographers bring this puppy into their workflow, because I know it's a super useful tool.
Cool. And for those just joining the meeting, Peter Deering just lost a fight with a velociraptor. That's why his face looks like that. So I'm going to read some more questions that are regarding lens kit, since we're on the subject. Do lens caps come with lens kit to prevent dust or water from collecting inside the lens kit?
Oh, they sure do. We weren't going to. We were arguing like, oh come on, everyone's got a zillion body caps laying around their house, and it's like, do we really have to make a custom one? Because it was kind of a late addition, and we decided to because I guess two reasons. One, it looks beautiful, and you know this is a premium product for professional photographers. God, that's dark. For professional photographers, and it warrants every little bit of the attention to detail that went into this. So yeah, long story short, we are carrying those indeed.
Yep, and there's a couple more questions about what about dirt and moisture getting into the lenses during the switch, and the idea is that if it comes with that cap to cover the open part of the lens kit, so if you are worried about that happening, you'll have an easy way to protect it.
I mean, during a switch, bear in mind that in order to put, we don't recommend you do it in the shower, nor under a waterfall, or in an actual dust storm.
Yeah.
Because to put a lens on, you have to expose the back glass for at least a moment. Even the fastest gunslinger has to bring a little bit of exposure, both to the sensor and mirror area, or no mirror, and to the back glass. But we think that's reasonable. I think it looks awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. Does the lens kit come with anchor links?
Negative. It doesn't come with anchor links because it doesn't come with a strap, and if you own a strap, that means you've got both the anchors and clearly the links that are necessary to make it work. We didn't offer a strap and lens kit combo SKU, and the reason we didn't is because we sell a lot of straps right now, and it's just simply easier to get a hold of those a la carte, so you can get the specific strap that you need, because they all work with it.
Cool. Let's see. There's a bunch of everyday messaging questions, so I'm going to switch over to some of those. Let's see. How about the ability of the messenger bag to stand upright on its own? What's the current experience with that?
So this is where we can see that defined line there, both on the front and the back. That's intentional, so that I can do that. Does that see? Yeah, that's visible. Okay, great. And will that, if you put a laptop in the back and have nothing else in the front, it's probably going to tip over to the back. Likewise,
it's a slim bag.
if you've got it totally loaded up with gear in the front and then you don't have anything in the back, it'll fall that way. That being said, for my own personal usage, I'd say most of the time it stands up with my normal carry.
It does surprisingly well considering how slim and low profile the bag is, and we worked very hard to, you can see we have this sort of triangle shape here, trying to give it the widest base possible while keeping the profile as slim as possible.
Yep. You can always do like cheating bobsled teams and put lead weights in the bottom of it too. I'm sorry. It's a miss.
For those of you who just joined the meeting, Peter Doing just lost a fight with a bobsled team.
That's more plausible, man. That totally looks like an ice cut, a blade cut.
Let's see here. So actually, the two ones at the top we've already answered. When will the shell ship from last campaign? I guess I didn't like that question.
Yeah, we got our final.
We just run. We're taking the money. We're going to Mexico.
Yeah. Final production stuff that they are sewing up as we speak.
I mean, to give you an idea of the detail that this product has undergone and like the attention to detail, we just got this latest sample in, and I didn't really realize we were even doing this run of sample, and I was like, what's different here, Art? And he said, oh, well, we're using a thread that has less of a propensity to wick, which obviously we're making a product which is environmental waterproof, but like we were using standard polyester thread before, but to redo all these things with a thread that actually does an even better job specifically at not wicking water. I don't know. I just think it's indicative of how well Art has really managed this product, and I'm just blown away with how well it sheds water. Let's see, can you see that? I don't know. Maybe you can. You can. And when we first started talking about this thing, the reason that Kickstarter backers were able to access it for $20 is because we sort of envisioned, like a better shower cap. I mean, honestly, like people wanted a solution. It's like, well, that could be kind of maybe done decently well, but this thing, the way that it conforms to so many different shapes of cameras, the way that it does such a superb job of protecting from the elements, allows you to shoot, allows you to shoot while you're using it, and even incorporates kind of a last-minute thing, just to work with straps, because kind of dawned on us, we got help from Annie, our head of business development, saying like, it'd be really cool if we could use this with straps too. And it's like, oh, that's right, we make straps. We should probably accommodate that. So the product has seen, so much improvement over the years since we put it on Kickstarter. I'm sure that it's a bit frustrating to the folks who've been waiting for it forever, but it's I'm going to call it 10 times the product it was. I don't know, maybe it's more like 3.5 times the product that it was when we initially launched it. So I feel really good about it.
Let's scream and deal it.
And
Yeah.
so
The question was, when's it shipping?
Yeah.
Jen just sent a note that said by the end of September.
Yep, correct.
Yep, it's in production and they're flying on it. So
Where's Jen today?
It's going to go out pretty quick here.
Oh, she stayed home.
See, there's the fit on the D600 with the 24-70. Pretty clean.
It's super clean. It's worth fun.
All right. Let's see here. Could you show a little bit more of the stabilizer strap on the bag? How is it hidden? Where is it hidden? How can it be used? This is a good one. This is something that we probably haven't put as much information on our Kickstarter pages as we like to, and as frankly you deserve.
Art's checking on things to make sure we have our best foot forward here. I think.
By the way, Jen's in Oakland.
Yeah. So Sasha told me. Sorry, Jen. It was probably in the calendar. I know.
I assume she means Oakland, Missouri.
You were just
next to where I grew up.
I assumed you were just slacking off. Okay. So first pulling him out here. Let's see here. We're gonna have to Frankenstein it together real quick because. Yeah. Why don't we hit up the next question? We'll come back to that in a second when Art preps.
Cool. Let's see here. Let's see. Any updates on holding water bottles, integrating an external water bottle holder? Is that in consideration?
The update is last night I heard Art go, oh, I wish we would have even concluded pockets on the side in the first place. And I think that's because what we had intended them for was really quick access to small thin things like lens caps, sunglasses, these types of things. We weren't unaware that a lot of people carry water bottles on the side of a bag, but we just
It was never the intention.
it was never the intention, and we just kind of, because that's a prime place for capture, and it would have incorporating like a dedicated water bottle holder there would have been problematic for that. And because we wanted to make sure that the materials around that stayed the same, and we didn't want to
keep it in the truck back too. We've had water pockets on the bag and things start to go.
yeah, the general comment there is we wanted to keep it clean, and that around all the edges and everything like that. So here's the thing. Capture is still this really kind of cool product that most people, a lot of you folks who are listening here at least own, and we've been kind of dreaming up what is the appropriate capture utility mechanism for a long time that could hold a water bottle or hold anything else of size that's maybe awkwardly shaped and can fit on the outside. In some ways, I kind of hesitate to write that because now we've got it catted up and ready to go over there. But it is something that we consider as far as something we can do. But the fact of the matter is, it will hold a slim water bottle. Certainly anything that's relatively flask shaped, it holds in there very well. And kind of the longer, taller, skinny ones, you could definitely put that kind of water bottle in there. But yeah, otherwise, Art's suggestion is put it in the bag. I know a lot of people don't feel comfortable putting liquids in a bag with camera gear. Obviously, know your own gear and figure out what makes sense for you. And yeah, we just didn't want mesh pockets on the side of our bag. We thought it was too good looking to do that.
All right. Can you use shell and clutch together?
Yes, shell and clutch. Interesting.
You can have the shell on there, but you can't.
Shell, yeah, it won't come out exterior. Wait a second, could you?
Hey Art, why don't you come a little closer to the microphone?
All right. Yeah, we're kind of debating it right now.
UBS, you'd be navigating everything through.
No, we're gonna say no. You can definitely have shell underneath, or excuse me, have clutch underneath shell, so that when it's time to use it, and when you reveal it, when you pull it up on the back, you can reveal your clutch, but not on the outside, not exterior.
It would work, but I think it would just make things very clumsy when you actually wanted to shoot, because it would kind of be interfering with your ability to look through the viewfinder.
Really good.
Cool. Stapler strap.
Sweet. Stabilizer strap. My shirt is also almost black. Sorry about that, folks. let's see here. So Art the first thing he did was he's got it kind of in a way for exterior carry. So if you're someone who commonly commutes and likes to use the stabilizer strap quite a bit, this is a great way to keep it kind of, you know, most at the ready, as opposed to taking the probably, I don't know, 10 to 20 seconds to pull it out of its kind of its homes inside the side of the bag, right there. So anyway, the attachment. Here, Art, you want to navigate the camera so we can brighten this up? There we go. Sweet. Cool. Okay, so the attachment works like this. All right, we've got this really cool Hypalon loop that's sewn in there, like so. And then you've got one of these G hooks, like so. Art designed all this hardware at fairly painstaking work. So there it's loosely on me. When I want to tighten it, just give it a crank, and you're good to go. I like to tuck it a little bit right here. And so what that does now is I've got nothing on my shoulder right now. Literally all the weight of the bag is taken up by my hips. It's very much like it's the same as when you're backpacking, putting the waist belt on. It's incredible how much weight can really be taken off there. Now, one other way. Pardon? Oh, okay, sure. Swing it around. Yeah. The reason I can swing it around is just because, you know, it doesn't need to be ridiculously tight to do the right job, or to do the job you want it to do. And you've got enough flex in there that I can swing it around, access the bag. I mean, I don't even have, like I say, I just took the shoulder strap off completely, which is kind of interesting, and have full access to the bag and to the pockets. It's like literally, it's all right in front of me. It's super accessible. It's a really, really wonderful way to feel very, very secure with the bag. Now, because there was so much kind of like discussion from the onset about messenger bag or shoulder bag, how are people going to do this? We wanted to make sure that this strap could also accommodate those who are more in the messenger camp. So that means that we've got this attachment here. That's what these little guys are here for on the strap. So now, when I want to carry my bag crosswise like this, when I'm biking through Hipsterdom in Williamsburg or the Mission, I can make sure that I'm totally secure in this way. So we've got them. We've kind of got them both covered. God, that scratch looks awful. Art, you should do this.
You're doing great.
So that's the stabilizer strap, and like, you know, in some part, shame on us for not really giving it its proper due in the video. The reason we didn't is because it's something that we've really been kind of fine-tuning in the later stages of this bag's production. But more thought and more sampling has gone into this stabilizer strap than you can imagine. Really, it's just super well thought out.
Pockets and how this pocket's
Art, why don't you talk about the hidden pockets and stuff?
And just to show it, because I'm not sure if it's clear in the video, so these are hidden stash pockets here. There's some confusion. Some people thought that this was shared with the side pockets. Man, that is so dark. We got to get some more light out here. There we go. Fluorescents. We avoid them, but so here's the side pocket, and I can go all the way down to the side pocket, and this is actually a completely separate stash pocket for the stabilizer strap. So this side pocket actually has two separate pockets, which means that you've got a dedicated little guy. So what I usually do is kind of roll it up like so, and stash the whole bundle in there like that, and it's nice and clean and out of the way, and you don't have a bunch of dangling straps slapping around your legs all day. It's pretty annoying. So that's the stabilizer strap. Hope that answers it. All right.
Great.
That's Adam.
Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. Let's see. Do the dust caps have loops on them?
Loops?
So they can be tied to the lens kit, or
No, you lose these as easily as you lose your lens caps.
Fair enough.
We've got those side pockets in the bag so you can store them there.
Yeah. the lens stash pockets.
Right.
All right, let's see. Is the strap? Is the bag designed for left and right-handed people?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Or right-shouldered and left-shouldered. Yep.
And the way it does, the way that we've done that, and let me just say, designing an ambidextrous bag and trying to achieve what we've achieved with the strap in terms of the quick release and then the staged sort of hook adjustment here is pretty tricky in conjunction with doing left-right shoulder carry. But the way we've gotten around it, it's not a super quick process. You can't unclip this side and swap it to the other side. What you have to do is actually release the adjuster hook and unthread the strap completely and then rethread it in reverse on the other side. And it's not the fastest switch, but we also figured that it's a switch that you only have to do one time. If you're someone who likes to wear the bag on the right shoulder or the left shoulder, you know. And the bag comes with a left shoulder crossbody carry setup,
Which accommodates right-handed people, generally speaking. But yes, so it is, perfectly set up.
All right, somebody asks, how does the safety lock feature work on CaptureLENS? I'm not sure if they're referring to actually locking the unit into place into Capture or locking the lens onto the unit.
Gotcha. So basically, it is the exact same level of safety and safety mechanism as it has on your camera, with one perhaps adjustment. I don't know, it doesn't seem to want to focus there. But that being said, you can see that we've got a little housing for it, and the actual release point is when you go beyond flush. It won't release until you go beyond flush with the button pushing, so that avoids the accidental push of the button, and make sure that, also, like, if there is an accidental push of the button, nothing happens until you apply a twisting motion to it. And that's, like we say, it's absolutely as safe or a little bit safer because of that recess function than it is on your camera.
All right.
Did I show that clearly, Adam? Alicia,
Yeah, I think so.
You think I did?
Can the main flap of the bag be folded all the way to the back to leave the main compartment open?
Yes. Yeah, actually, we thought quite a bit about that because that's one thing about flap closure bags that it's great and it's annoying. The great part is that you have awesome expandability to allow the bag to grow and shrink, but the annoying part is that you have this big flap that you have to deal with. And we deal with that in two ways. Number one, like you said, you can tuck the flap all the way back, which is great when you're, like, say, shooting a wedding or something and you just want an open bucket for all your lenses, fully accessible, and you've got one hand and you need to really get in there quick. So I think you can see that.
Yep.
And it folds back very clean. It's very comfortable on the backside. There's no bulk material because the flap is entirely flat. It doesn't have any shape in there that's going to, like, want to resist folding over backwards. And then the other feature that we build into that is that there's a break in the foam on the flap. This entire top flap is padded, by the way, even the top section here. So there's a break in the foam, which means that when you go to open it, you can actually fold it. Show up a little more. You can actually fold it back like this, and then fold it up, and it's kind of like halves the size of the flap, so that you don't have the flap underneath your chin here if you're wearing the bag very tight. So we like that quite a bit. And then, of course, if you are in a very crowded area, there's the top zip, which allows actually very good access, considering that it's just a single straight zip to whatever you've got in here. And so.
And hopefully you have the field pouch by Peak Design in there.
And the straight zip is great. Like if you're on a crowded bus and you want to take a shot out the window or something like that, the flap does, occupy a little bit of space around you. The top zip is super duper sleek and very tight to your body in close quarters. So we like that.
Right on.
Yep.
Sweet. Let's see.
Brighter.
Okay, here's an interesting second part of the question. Can you, oh, it just disappeared. I think there was a question. I tell you what, I don't know how much you guys have talked about pouch in
Let's do a pouch up.
in Hangouts, but pouch is something that has really come together quite a bit since the beginning of this campaign, and I think it's really worth getting up close and intimate with pouch.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Art's grabbing a few of them. Yeah, it's spectacular. Pouch is. Let me show you what. Oh, here we go. Real quick backstory on Pouch. One day Art comes to work and he says, "Hey Pete, I made you something," which is cool because usually people don't make you stuff. And he made me this thing. And this is from the material that he used for the first ever prototype that he built from this thing. And I'm like, "What's that?" And he's like, "It's a pouch. You should check it out." And I was like, "Wow, man, that's really nice." Well, think about it. I really didn't know kind of what to do with it, but man, are these things convenient. And I've been using this one ever since. I'm actually going to be hard-pressed to give this one up and go to this one, even though this one's got loads of functionality that's been built into it now, which Art will talk about.
Yeah, so this is the latest prototype on the pouch, and it's come quite a long ways. The one on the Kickstarter video is very, very simple. It's just a flat sort of envelope shape. This one has some very actually complex, almost like handbag-style darting into the pattern, and what that means is that when you load the pouch up quite a bit, it's not going to pucker and deform. It's going to accept the load, and you can see this one I've got a little bit more loaded up, although it's a lot bigger, but the back is completely flat, and all of that load is in the front. And what that means is that when you're wearing it on your belt or on a strap, it's going to lay very nice and clean against your body instead of feeling like a little football. Inside, this one's all marked up because it's sort of a production sample, but we've got a really killer screen-printed logo here that's a little dark that we've brightened up since. There's an attachment point on the front of pouch that you can carry lens clip or a light camera, like a mirrorless camera on. Actually, that was Pete's suggestion based on him doing some travels and wanting a really, really lightweight setup, and he was using leash with the pouch that I gave him, and he had poked holes for anchors in the sides of it.
I call it the beach setup. It's like, when you're in a beach town and you just want to, like, leash with this thing, putting capture right on there. And at the time I had, what's that?
I was going to show.
Oh, yeah,
So check out these anchor patches we have are awesome. So on the back, I think you can see there's these Hypalon patches with a nice clean eyelet, as well as some seatbelt webbing loops on the back for belt carry. But if you want to put it on one of our straps, you just feed a couple of anchors through, and like so.
I used it basically as a purse the whole time that I was down there in Mexico, and it was awesome. Not kidding.
And purse.
It was a man purse, and I totally get it now.
Yeah, it's like a very high quality travel wallet. Is kind of how we think about it. And so we've got the anchors on these really cool little patches, and the cool thing about them is so that you don't have them dangling around if you're not using them. You can actually stash them in this little slot here to keep them kind of stored, which is really fun also. But so that lets you clip this guy onto one of our straps, like so.
Something in there. You got anything in there?
There's nothing in here right now, but sure.
Hold on.
load it up.
Phone.
Wallet phone, passport, keys, memory cards, lens caps, filters. The pockets are sized really well for travel hard drives and passports. There's 2 big pockets there, and you can fit 2 small, medium-sized lenses side by side in here as well. And there is light padding on the pouch via a very dense synthetic felt on the inside. So that's the lens clip on the capture setup there. And you can do a, like here I have this is a Sony a6000, very lightweight camera on the front of the lens, so I've got a very lightweight setup. I can still access whatever I need to in there, hold it down, and then I have the kind of instant capture access off the front as well. So that's pretty fun. There's just a lot of different uses, and that goes for actually the way I have been rocking it around town when I'm eating by bike or whatever.
Also, there were questions early on about like what about filter carry and stuff like that. And you know, that's for folks obviously who don't. I mean, for carrying your filters in a filter case, which I think most people probably do. Obviously, it can handle that job just fine. But we've also recently had. Did you just show them the felt and stuff?
I didn't really show them the internal.
Let me. I'm actually going to flip it inside out, just because that'll really let you get a look under the hood. So we put some pretty great internal organization into it, and added felt, which is cool. Really, felt is a great material that Art recently kind of brought it up. Oh, we got the zipper too. Cool. Okay, so Art, you want to take him through what we got here?
Absolutely. So this is actually the back side that goes against your body, and we're looking at the pouch inside out again. What we have is 2 big, super stretch mesh pockets here. They're so stretchy that, like, this is a really wide Sigma 31.4 lens, and you can stuff them in these mesh pockets no problem. And that means that when your lens is in there, it's not going to be bumping around in the pouch. You can still store things behind it, and it's not going to scratch it. And then there's a light protection from this felt. It's a 2.5 millimeter thick, high-density felt. So it actually does really well on bumps and bruises and stuff. It's not a heavy, impact drop protection kind of thing, but if you're wearing it on your body, you don't have to worry about bumping into a counter or something like that and dinging your stuff. Again, we did that. And the reason we used felt actually is because if you use foam, every time you use foam, you have to have a layer of fabric on the back and on the front to encase it so that it doesn't get torn up. The felt, we can use just the felt, which keeps it absolutely as slim as possible while still adding some structure and protection to the back.
And giving it an old-timey cabin feel.
Right, and giving it a good old-fashioned aesthetic. So we've got these 2 pockets on the back here. This is an iPhone 6. And it'll fit a 6 Plus or a Passport or a hard drive in there, no problem. And then they're nice, and we've got a mixed twill liner on the inside there, so everything's nice and snug. And then on the front side of the bag here is pretty cool. You can see that shaping I was talking about with these really pretty tricky sort of handbag-style darts in there. And then we have a great little zip pocket. And this is for more things that you're worried about rattling around and getting lost, memory cards and batteries and stuff like that. You can keep, maybe a spare set of keys or whatever. You can actually keep them sort of isolated so they're not going to get mixed up with all your other gear in there. So, pretty cool.
All right.
I have it on the belt here. This is actually the way that I like to carry it the most. Is basically just a little kind of on the belt. This is just on my regular leather belt, sort of fanny pack situation. Super quick to get into, very tight to lock it down. And when you're shooting, it's great to just have a really quick and dirty access to anything that you need, and it's still big enough to, if I'm in a pinch and whatever I really need to swallow some serious gear, like you can fit a lot in here. I just threw on top of everything I have in there a big lens, so it will triple in size between when it's empty and full, which is a great feature.
And for those of you in most Commonwealth nations, when Art says fanny pack, he means bum.
That's
Bum
right.
pack. Right.
That means something different.
Yeah.
Sorry out there.
All right. So we've actually only got about 12 minutes left. So let's start going rapid fire from the top down on all the remaining questions. Will the lens kit handle 24-70 and 7200? Yes, we demonstrated that at the beginning. Mag latch working upside down, already done at the beginning. Dust caps, already done. How weatherproof is the bag under heavy rain with strong wind? Will rain be able to enter the bag from the side of the flap? Is the zipper waterproof? A note on waterproofness.
Yeah, so the water, the material itself is, it has a water repellent coating, so it's going to shed water. Eventually all water repellent coatings will wet out. So if you're in consistent rain, the bag will wet out, but it also has a PU backing on it, and a layer of foam, and a liner which also has a PU backing. So no water is going to get through the fabric itself. I mean, you could probably, you know, you can leave it underwater for a long time before it wouldn't happen. The zippers are water-resistant zippers, which means that they will withstand water going over them. That being said, the way that water-resistant zippers work is that there's the less tension they have on the zipper, the tighter the seal is. If the bag is very overloaded, the zipper will actually get a little bit of a gap, and that's true for all water-repellent zippers, including, you know, ones on $600 rain shells and stuff like that. And that's the same with these. So, and as far as the water entering the side of the bag, obviously the less stuff that's in the bag, the more secure it is to rain because of the larger overlap. But we've patterned the bag so that even when it's completely stuffed with gear, you still have plenty of overlap. And so short of a heavily, I mean, the worst case scenario is a heavily overloaded bag that's heavily tilted on your shoulder, and you've got a massive rainstorm. You know, I mean, at that point, you know, it isn't a bag that is designed specifically for use in heavy rain. It's a bag that is designed to make it so that you don't really have to worry about it if you get caught in a rainstorm. Is it a bag that you want to take on a expedition to Iceland, you know, for 2 weeks? You know, you might want to get some real outdoor gear at that point.
I think Art's commentary can be summed up as don't wear it in the shower.
Right.
But it performs very, very well to keep your items dry. Can you add a business card holder to the bag?
A business card holder. Well, so we have ample pockets in the front.
I think
bag here.
I think that might be a question for like identification, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, that's like a luggage tag situation.
I mean, there are pockets that can hold business cards.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Might want to get yourself a rubber band to keep them together.
Yeah, as far as an external pocket for identification, the bag really doesn't have that.
And I think the reasoning is because, you know, a large part of this bag is making something that's very aesthetically beautiful, and, you know, making it very functional but also very beautiful. And I think we felt that a business card holder would be a bit superfluous there.
Yeah, that's more of a, you know, when you've got 6, you know, racks of lights and lenses and a full pro setup, and you want bag tags on every external carry. This is, you know, it's a bag that's designed to kind of, you can take it to work with you, and you're not going to feel like you have.
There's another question below. Have you guys ever considered a cover for the CaptureLENS? Current lens bags have like protection for the lens, and I think the short answer to that is it's not something that we're considering because we believe that that sort of thing would sort of be redundant in our product lineup in the system that we've created. If you want to carry a lens and have it fully protected from bumps and that kind of stuff, keep it in the bag where it's surrounded by foam dividers. Or if you have a smaller lens, keep it in the pouch. The CaptureLENS and lens clip products are really designed to keep your stuff secure but extremely accessible, so that you don't need to pull your lens out of something or unwrap your lens from something. You just grab it, pop it on your camera, and shoot.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of lens pouches out there on the market, and the main advantage over CaptureLENS is that when you pull your lens off of it to use, you don't have a bunch of empty pouches on you. It's just the lens. So there's obviously a trade-off there when it comes to the elements and bumps and scrapes and stuff like that. And,
Can you guys give an update on tripod accommodation for the Everyday Messenger?
Absolutely. Actually, none of the samples that we have here.
You left that one in Vietnam?
Yeah.
Okay. What we did, folks, is we added a pattern of fabric. It's kind of cool. It goes here and here, and what it does is it takes a little slice of padding and makes sure that there's padding. So basically, you're going to take one leg of your tripod, thread it through, and that's going to be padded. So that, and it's not to protect the tripod leg as much as it is to protect whatever's in the top of your bag. So you've got this completely protected top tripod leg there, and then your other two legs and the center column are going to rest right here. And so what that does is that actually gives you, it's down just a little bit, it still allows you to maintain access to the, Art's going to mock it up here a little bit better, but maintain access to the full bucket and to all the zippers and to the zip access on top. Art's rigging it up right now, and it'll be a little bit, it'll be a lot better than me telling you about it. So we'll get to that one in a second when he gets that ready. Adam, you want to?
Let's see. The foam that gives the bag its rigidity. There's a question of, will it get bendy and floppy over time?
No. I mean, all foams, I suppose, break in a little bit, and Art, forgive me if I'm speaking out of turn here, but all foams break in a little bit, but
which is a good thing.
Which
it's pretty rigid foam.
Which is a good thing. It is a little bit. I mean, yeah, in my opinion, it's actually like kind of over stiff at the beginning. We want it to wear nicely over time, and have the places where natural conformity wants to make it occur. We want that to happen. Is it going to turn into a floppy mess though? Absolutely not. It's going to wear beautifully over time.
Right. Yeah, and just to comment on that, the foam that we're using on this is something that's called Adelon. It's a specific formula of polyethylene foam, and most camera bags will use the really cheap, low-density polyethylene foam or polyurethane foam, which is even worse, which is probably why that person is raising that question, because they've probably had a camera bag completely break down on them because the foam is so cheap. We are able to use higher density foam here, which is, by the way, a lot more expensive. And the advantage of that, the reason we're able to do that is because it's a lot higher quality, and it's not going to break down in the same way as a result. So here's the tripod carry here. And what we're actually going to do is give you a silicone band to bind the legs with. And this one obviously doesn't have the sleeve, but there's a sleeve that covers the leg to protect your gear on the inside. And it's really nice because you can still access the bag pretty easily. And it's a very clean, comfy carry on top, like so. And then to use it, you can just put it aside like that, and then to set it up, you find the slot, feed it through, and band the legs. So.
Right on. How do you clean the bag? If it gets rained on or you spill coffee or juice, will the bag smell and get dirty?
This morning I used mine as my gym bag, and probably left my swimming suit in there. So yeah, that'll smell. But that's not really the bag's fault. I think that we're working on the care label but it's nothing that you haven't seen before.
Yeah.
They're,
Spot clean.
one of the wonderful things about synthetic materials is that they're very cleanable.
Yep.
So you should be in good shape there.
Yeah, and we were very close to using a full real deal cotton wax canvas, and in the end, we wanted to use the best material on the bag, and the cotton was a little bit more expensive, and it's normally something that's kind of used in luxury products. So we were thinking that's what we wanted to go with, just to make
cotton. Sorry.
No, cotton.
Oh, the cotton. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Okay.
And the reason we ended up going with the waxed Codra that we used for the bag, which is a nylon polyester blend, is that it's just it does a better job at shedding water. It's way easier to clean, and the weight-wise, it's like a third of the weight. So at the end of the day, the best fabric for the bag ended up being what we went with, obviously, but it had to do with just like it just functioned a lot better than some stuff that was more luxury. So that's why we went with what we did.
Let's try to run through the last few questions real fast. Lens kit for Micro Four Thirds, is that a consideration?
Sure, it's a consideration. We're going to see how this product does. If enough people take it up and there's economic incentive, that sounds really businessy, but hey, that's it. We are a business. And so if it makes sense to go through the pains of creating that additional SKU, we'll do it.
Yeah, and we did a survey on that, and basically our backers gave us their feedback on it, and I think it was 80% was Nikon and Canon.
I put a comment on there yesterday. You can check out the numbers there. I know we got to run through these, so.
Yeah.
Cool. What about using lens mount converters on CaptureLENS?
Absolutely. Yeah, they work. It's a bayonet the exact same as your camera is. So imagine that you've got the bayonet slot for a camera, and you got two of them. So do with it what you will. They should work in the exact same fashion.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and these are all CNC solid bayonets also, by the way. I don't know if we talked about that, but these things are
they're really badass.
Cool. Let's see. Water resistance. How water resistant is the material between the main compartment and the laptop sleeve?
Between the two.
There's 3 layers of foam, I think, between the two.
It's not designed to be waterproof in between those two compartments. So keep your zippers shut.
Well, yeah, water's not going to get between the two compartments, but it's not fabric that sheds water. But there's 4 layers of fabric and foam. It's not water.
Sure.
You can't keep your laptop in the laptop compartment and your goldfish in the main compartment.
Exactly.
It's never go Adam Hicks, that's never going to work. What were you thinking? Let's see. Velcro. Can the Velcro be silenced on the pouch?
Unfortunately, no.
Nope. But we're using really great Velcro.
Yeah.
We picked the best option that we could.
Very low profile. It's not scratchy on your skin.
Yeah.
And it lasts for a long time. Yeah. Great stuff.
Is Lens Flipper aware that we're making a similar product?
Yes. Doug Kranz, who's the U.S. component of that company, has been in touch with me for a long time. And when they originally came out with Lens Flipper, the strap-based system, I said, that's really cool, Doug. And he said, would you guys like to partner? I was like, well, man, we're kind of in the same business that you are, and we've been on a track for a long time to come up with that product, and we have our own take on it. So it is a bit of a unique situation, though, no doubt, in that there's a similar product out there that came before ours. Well, there's camera bags out there and there's straps out there, so it's not that dissimilar. But the clip, which utilizes sort of the capture method of attaching to backpack straps and things like that, that came out a little bit later. And I know the inventor of Lens Clip pretty well. I've seen him at a lot of trade shows and stuff. And I asked him where he got the inspiration, and he goes, "You," which is fine. I think it's a really well done product. Going is, We're all in the same business, the same industry, and we totally respect them for the product that they came out with, and hopefully they respect us in the same way.
All right. Add-ons. Are there any add-ons from Trey's tutorial packs planned? Not as part of the Kickstarter campaign, but when the campaign's over and you're filling out your survey, you will be able to add on any product that Peak Design makes, as well as a bunch of different packages of tutorials and stuff like that offered by Trey. So that will be possible in your fulfillment survey. Let's see. What size cover was on the D600 art?
I believe this is a medium. Medium. Yep.
Gotcha. And in our past updates, we've provided a really nice graphic to help you choose based on your camera and lens what size shell you want. We'll send that out again when we do the fulfillment survey as well.
And the idea, of course, is that there's overlap. You know, the small. I think you understand what I mean by that. There's overlap between the two of them.
Let's see. PD Dream Pack slide light option versus slide.
Totally.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, we talked about it. The only reason we won't say absolutely yes right now is that Slide Light is on a different production schedule than the other versions of Slide, and we want to make sure that if we offer that option to have a Slide Light instead of a regular slide, that it won't mean that we'll have to wait to fulfill your order until we have that particular warehouse stocked with that particular.
I'm going to say I'm 95% certain.
Cool. Well, you might still be a little woozy from that head trauma.
That velociraptor attack. True. 95%. That's not 100.
Yeah, you're right. Let's see. Somebody says love the $1 million challenge in the background.
Oh yeah.
The million. That one right there.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah.
That's something we've done for every Kickstarter. It's a pretty fun.
And I have been the most optimistic for every single one of them.
Yeah. I don't know if he's won every single one of them, but
I think I'm going to be the closest. Certainly by Price is Right rules, whereby overbidding even by $1 eliminates you from competition. I think that I'm going to have this one. We'll have to check the record books, though, on whether that's the rule or not. I don't recall.
Let's see. Somebody asked to have the Capture Pro clip. Will CaptureLENS fit that clip? It sure will. CaptureLENS, or Lens Kit in particular, works with every version of Capture ever made. Lens Kit, all metal construction. It is made out of, what, ABS, glass-filled nylon?
A lot of different parts here. Actually, so I recalled now. By the way, the guy who designed this, his name is Rob Jankura. Rob came on at the first of the year, and this was the first project that we really sicked him on. Rob's previous job was he was the lead engineer at Specialized for their mountain bikes division. Rob is he is a spectacular engineer, and he knocked this project out of the park with such efficiency. It was really, really incredible. And so what you've got here is glass-filled nylon, which is appropriate because this ends up being the highest stress part, because this is what actually seats. What you can see in there is the base of a stainless steel shaft. There's a stainless steel shaft that's turned. It's made on a lathe. And then after that, so that means that really the structure is stainless steel with plastic surround. But this one's glass-filled nylon right here, and this one is ABS. And the reason we go with ABS there instead of glass-filled is because we desired to have these very pretty chamfers that where we take the tool and you polish it like crazy until you get a mirror shine on that. And you can't do that with glass-filled nylon because the fibers come to the surface and aesthetically get in the way. ABS, though, is also a wonderfully strong material. And then we've got stainless steel pins right here, which are drilled out to receive stainless steel screws right there. So these form 3 shafts which draw the 2 halves together. This is machined 6061 aluminum. This aluminum is actually extruded first, and then it's turned, which means made on a lathe, done on a lathe. Actually,
Oh no, that's awesome.
all CNC. My mistake. That's right. We shoot the whole thing through an extrusion, get the base shape, and then we put it on a CNC. And we do that twice. Or is this done with masking? I believe it's done twice. That's how we get two different appearances here. So we anodize it first, and then we put it back on the CNC, and we do this top layer here, so you get that nice clean. This is obviously a wear surface, so anodizing that, it would eventually just look scratched over time. So that's the bulk of the material. Stainless steel pin.
Show them our locator
right there.
design. It's pretty sweet.
Locator design right there. That is just a slightly submerged little piece of aluminum there. So that's why when it gets machined, it does not get the anodizing doesn't get taken off.
Cool. Love me a chamfer. Make a good chamfer.
Yeah.
Chamfer.
Raise your hand if you remember watching the first Apple product design video where Johnny I was like, the chamfers on this phone are the most beautiful. I can't do a Commonwealth accent, but anyway, that was stuck in our heads, I think, when he talked about chamfers. Thank you for raising your hand, Adam.
Cool. Okay, let's do two more questions. First off, somebody asked, can they, if they just want Lens Kit or CaptureLENS, can they pledge for our project, select no reward, and then just add 40 or 80 bucks? Yes, you can. We would obviously love for you to also support the Everyday Messenger and that sort of stuff, but if it's just lens carrying you're looking for, go for it. We love all the support that we get, and we're very stoked to have so many people excited about this new product. And then lastly, let's do this. The updated tan color of the bag. Do you guys have one of those?
Yes, it's not 100% final, but
Also,
base fabric is there.
check out that rivet. Isn't that sweet?
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Let me show you the other side, the one where the washer isn't too large. Yeah, we redid these rivets.
Is that a Pogs slammer?
Yes. We want a ton of them in the playground, so we're just going to put them onto our bags.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's actually this two-piece. Sorry, you asked about the tan color, but this rivet bears some discussion. It's just,
It's a turned anodized aluminum finish washer on a custom lathe stainless steel washer. It's pretty cool.
yeah.
Yes.
Tan. So this is the final tan fabric here. But this bag.
Ugh, that looks nothing like it, at least on my screen. I mean, we got fluorescent lights here.
Yeah.
It's hard, guys, to like correctly convey colors across the multitude of monitors and light and things like that. I'm sure you do get the gist of it, but
this
it's
has a brown
beautiful.
bottom and a bunch of everywhere there's black anything on here that will be basically like espresso brown bottom. Interior-wise, this is actually the final fabric, so it's this sort of Indiana Jones khaki color.
Yeah. And you know, the one of the rationales behind that and keeping it a clean appearance is that the inside of a camera bag in particular, it's really important to have a nice bright light color there, so you see contrast, and so that more light can easily get to the bottom of the bag. So that's why we've chosen those, other than like something fun and stripy or something like that.
And as cool as a black interior looks, it doesn't work very well.
Yeah, exactly. Also, quickly, apologies for in the video. I don't know if you guys have watched the deep dive design video, but when I go like this and I reveal the thing and I look super pissed off, I'm really sorry about that. I'm not angry. Not at you, not at anyone. I was just concentrating really hard because I was trying to make it do this.
Yeah.
I still want to make an animated GIF of just like that 3 seconds of video repeating.
Oh, I look so angry.
Yeah.
For sure. That's meme worthy.
And just a a note on the other colors. We really went. It's super easy, and this is what most companies do when they make a color variations on their bags. Is like the black bag. It has all black zippers and trim, and that's a stock color that most trim companies will carry. But we actually went the extra mile and did brown zippers and trim fabric, and like even this mesh binding stuff we had custom made in the right brown color. So everything has a cohesive look, and I think there's actually either no or extremely little black on the bag, which I can't tell you how hard it is to do that. It means that we have to make custom colors for like 25 different materials and trims and stuff like that. But I thought it was all worth it in the name of creating a true kind of classic look bag, because black is just too modern.
Nice work. All right, folks. We're 15 minutes over, so we're going to close up shop here. Have a great weekend. We again couldn't be more appreciative of your support in this project. Yesterday was a huge day. We launched CaptureLENS. Men's Journal wrote an article about the Everyday Messenger. It was a big, big day on Kickstarter. The spirits are high on the PD team, and also, especially for Peter Deering, who I assume is on some sort of pain medication now at the moment. His spirits are super high.
Dude.
Spirits. Sky high.
Spirits, man.
Oh,
You
God.
probably shouldn't drink on that medication, though, Pete.
No, it says you should, right on the bottle, actually.
Oh.
It says actually right about now is when you should. I can't believe it's so specific, but it is.
Yes. Did you guys want to add anything?
I don't think so.
A big thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, something also is interesting. I think the world, even the world that doesn't really care about photography, is kind of starting to take notice of Peak Design and the fact that we're in our 5th campaign now, and it's been successful each time, and growing really in terms of its success. And it feels really cool to have like the business world say, hey, this is unique and interesting. What's going on here? And so I'm starting to kind of get peppered with a lot of those types of interviews. And it is so fun to be able to talk about the grassroots way in which this has all come together and talk about our long-term and our growing community of people who just want to see this succeed. It's never happened before in business, and we are touched to be lucky enough to be among the first companies that have really done this over a period of years. So that's to all, like, especially to the folks who are dedicated enough, who want to know the inside scoop, who come to these hangouts. You guys are far more influential than you probably realize. So
Yeah, we're listening
Thank you.
for sure. I don't think it could happen in many other industries. You know, no one's gonna. There is no Peak Design of the footwear world. You know, it's. I think it just reflects on the tight knit community of photographers out there and people who like to take photos and stuff that they can pull. You know.
I'd say the only other company that's done this is when M&M's introduced the new blue M&M, and they let people vote on it.
that was similar.
They're the only other people, though. It's just us and Mars.
Yep. M&M Mars. Nice company.
Cool.
All right, everyone. I'm going to have that drink now.
You deserve it.
Yes.
Bye, everyone.
Toodaloo.